Hello. Um, in meristem intelligence, body, anatomy, and physiology are very in and out thing in when you speak in terms of meristem intelligence. The body is the home, like a trailer home that you carry around, and it is very important that we get in touch with the home that we are basically housed in to begin to get a better understanding of what meristem intelligence is. One of the key things that is to be derived from this, to be benefited from being in touch with the intelligence that is your body, is you better appreciate, you are better able to appreciate the interaction between you and life, and vice versa. You begin to see how there is the pulse of life in you, and this pulse of life is in resonance, is in response to several aspects of what is life at large that's outside, that's an extension from the body. Yeah. The world that we see, the world that we know of, that we learn as we move through different experiences, meet different people, different fields of work, you begin to see more of many more facets of it. But the life we live is corresponding to how well we are connected with life at large. Now, this video particularly was to bring to attention a fact that culturally, geographically, several people, different parts of the same country, different parts of the same continent, view the need for being related with the body very differently. Everybody has a body, yes, that's like an objective fact. And that's what I'm trying to say. That the fact that we have an alive human interactive body seems to become an objective, just that, just a fact. It's like, oh yeah, so instead of the wow of it. And how does this show up is when we are in different groups, say we are in different families, different cultural, social organizations, friend circles, working environments. Well, let's just say with working environments, because I think there is a large groups of people associated with it. Several companies, yeah, would have their cultures, what is called as the organizational culture, may be defined by how they are connected with their, well, let's say body. Some people are more heart oriented, some people are more brain oriented, some people are more intestine oriented, which means they're more interested in being, well, depending on how you are connected. The logic behind this you will come to know in due course of time, but that's also what makes meristem intelligence the work it is. The different cultural dynamics, the organizational culture may be given by which organs of their body they are more connected with. They might not see it as such, but it's more like in our culture we place more value for this. These are more important. So if you can fit into these things, you are welcome to join the company. If you're not, then there is something like a little odd. And wholesomeness would be how rounded is the purview of each company. The health over a period of time, the culture may change, may vary depending on how what has been the historical development, what has been the different experiences of the company, and accordingly the ethos, the uh, the flavors of the culture takes slightly changes from organization to organization, and according to how time, that's how you notice it, variation per time, and according to how well rounded they keep getting better, um, or they take different directions, and accordingly people come and go. So each individual also have their own, um, well, let's say biological energy constitutions. So accordingly, if you are, say, a more, this is more a more a reference that most people do talk in terms of, more people being heart oriented or brain oriented, or so this is something which is popular. So if you're more a heart oriented person and the organization that you're working in is more brain oriented, then what you have is a certain clash, more likely to have a clash. But if you are certain more balanced, both, the individual, the employee, as well as the organization, then you're more likely to be able to dance. And depending on what your values are, what is the vision of the company, and what is your own vision as an employee, then things are likely to get better depending on how much you're thinking. So when we talk in terms of culture, it is interesting how it becomes an option if you would like it's more like asking, maybe we can just ignore the arm, it is not so very important, we'll just take care of the rest of the body, the organization should function just fine because we want it to function only based on these terms. So how wholesome, how rounded products, how well are they likely to stand the test of time, could be said by how well we are connected with our body. Individually, employers, organization as a whole. If you're talking about health versus different states of violence arising from abuse. Now, some people may use some parts of the body more often than not, and there could be an organization where people who are, say for example, using more their hands and their heart, yeah, and then say, oh yeah, good, you're working with the heart is good, as the rest of the body is waste organs. Only the heart is the one which is functioning. The point I'm making is every part of the body is just as important as the other. Yeah, you will know this when you meet, say, a person with different kinds of physical disabilities, and you ask them that particular, regarding how it is to not have that particular part of their body as functional as they would like it to be. You'll know the value of it. Every part of the body is just as important as the other. The thing is, the more we are able to see the value of this, you will begin to see how the health of an organization, of an individual, of life at large gets benefited, and the more wholesome we get. The more we become exclusive or optional. I will maybe consider this as part of what is necessary in the culture. Then that's when you're giving more chance for imbalances, and where imbalances have an option, where there's a chance for imbalance like that, imbalance will come about. It's called the Murphy's Law. If anything is there that could go wrong, it will go wrong, because you have left that option for that something to go wrong to be there. So when it's like, you've left that option, you've not done sufficient enough to stitch that and have that be in integrity, it is most likely to just go loose. And then you have consequent domino effect, less and less integrity. So I hope this gives you a pause, this gives you a thought, and this may also give you a reason for how you could contribute to the organization, to the different groups you're being part of. The more you are coming into wholesomeness, you're most likely to influence others also to come into wholesomeness. Thank you for listening.